Today we're going to talk about the mind is the Buddha. We are going to compare the Huayan and the Tiantai school of Buddhism. Huayan is based on the Avantasaka Sutra, which is the first sutra that Buddha expounded, and Tiantai is based on the Lotus Sutra. It's actually the last sutra that Buddha expounded. So these two are both talking about how our mind is the Buddha. Huayan's main teaching is about the intersubsumption of all things. All things are mutually contained in each other. The whole universe and our mind is together as one. So we are all interconnected. The mind is originally the Buddha. Tiantai is focused on the inherently entailment of everything, which means that we inherently have evilness, we inherently have goodness. It all depends on how we use our mind to be wholesome or to be unwholesome. Tiantai is more about giving hope, because it doesn't matter how much bad things we have done before, we are still inherently have the Buddha nature that will ultimately reach Buddhahood. So everybody will become a Buddha because we all have the mind that is perfectly enlightened. So that's the basic difference between these two doctrines. Now let's look at how they categorize Buddha's teaching. Huayan categorized Buddha's teaching into 5 doctrinal classifications. Tiantai classified into 4 doctrines of conversion. In Huayan, the first one is Hinayana Buddhism, which is opposite of Mahayana. It's focused on the personal liberation of Theravada Buddhists. They want to get out of samsara for themselves, but they don't have the bodhi resolve to save all sentient beings like Mahayana Bodhisattvas. The second is the elementary Mahayana. Now we want to focus on how everything is empty in its essence and how the mind conscious school only of Buddhism, it tells us everything is only delusion of our mind. Everything is made from our deluded consciousness. That's called consciousness only school of Buddhism. Number 3, advanced Mahayana. It's like the Tiantai teaching that we have the Buddha nature. It's called the single vehicle. All Buddha's different teaching, Sravaka teaching, the Pratyeka teaching, and the Bodhisattva teaching. 3 vehicles are actually just one single vehicle. Number 4 is the Sudden teaching. It's the direct realization of our true nature. Like Zen Buddhism, it directly talks about our true mind. It's called the Sudden enlightenment. Then we have complete teaching, which is the perfect comprehensive teaching that everyone is interconnected in our Buddha nature. There's only one Dharmatatu, and that is the real mind. Now that's compared to the Tiantai's 4 doctrines. Number 1 is Tripitaka. It's the same as Hinayana. Theravada Buddhists, they focus on getting out of reincarnation, leaving samsara. Number 2 is called common teaching, common to the Theravada, common to the Mahayana. This is more about prajna, such as the Heart Sutra or the Diamond Sutra. So this Mahayana emptiness is a grander emptiness, understanding that all conditions arising are empty in nature. So life is like a dream, that it doesn't have true substance. Therefore, samsara and nirvana, they are not so different after all. Then we have distinctive teaching, only Mahayana teaching, specially tailored for bodhisattvas. Understand the illusory nature of the self and all phenomena, but we want to use this conventional light to play our part in this movie, in this dream, and be the best bodhisattva that we can be, bring love, compassion, and kindness to our lives and to the world. Lastly, we have the complete teaching, which is the same as the advanced Mahayana, the Sudden teaching, and the complete teaching. Complete means perfect, complete enlightenment. We innately have the Buddha nature. Sooner or later, all Buddha's teaching will bring us to enlightenment. Gives a lot of hope that we will become Buddha. You can say that Tiantai is more about our causal ground, and the Huayan is more about the result of becoming a real Buddha. So Hawaiian is more about the wonderful adornment of all real Buddhas. So one is more the causal ground, one is the fruition of reaching Buddhahood. Now let's look at their main doctrines in these two schools. Hawaiian mainly talks about the fourfold Dharmatatu. Tiantai talks about the threefold truth. They're kind of similar as well. The four Dharmatatu means the realm of reality. So we live in this physical realm. We also have the realm of the mind, the heart. The principle is talking about the emptiness, that everything's devoid of intrinsic nature. Everything is conditioned arising, constantly changing. They are empty of any true essence. Then we also have the Dharmatatu, the realm of phenomenon, which means our physical world. This physical body, this physical environment, that is all real existence to us in the conventional world. Number 3 is the Dharmatatu of non-construction between principle and phenomenon. We should see that there is no obstruction between the physical world and our mind and our true nature, the emptiness. We are all interconnected in our true essence. There is a doctor named Paul Farmers, born in 1959. He dedicated his whole life helping impoverished countries having health care. He went to Haiti, helped the impoverished place to have equal treatment as the rich countries. He believes in social justice, that everybody should have equal health care. He's a giant in the medical field, taught in Harvard Medical School, benefiting society. There's no hindrance between our physical world here as a person, as a doctor, as a whoever, and the mind. Our mind is full of compassion. It's empty of any true essence, but it's full of compassion and wisdom. Lastly is the non-obstruction between phenomena, which means everything is mutually contained in each other. In the Avantasaka Sutra, we talk about the interest net. In heaven, they have this net that is full of shiny jewels. Each jewel reflects upon the other jewels. They form an infinite web of reflections. So you are in me, I am in you. Everybody is connected as a whole. So everybody's action and thoughts in this world impact everyone else. It forms a seamless unity. Everybody's interconnected and interpenetrated in this perfect world. For example, you can observe a forest. Don't look at it just as individual trees or plants or animals. You should see it as a complete interconnected ecosystem. You see the sunlight, the soil, the water that is in the tree. That way you develop great compassion for all living beings and the whole entire universe. So this is the fourfold Dharmatatu. Now let's look at the threefold truth. The ultimate truth is the principle. The ultimate truth is emptiness. Everything is empty of intrinsic nature because they're all impermanent. This is for us to let go, especially let go of our attachment to the 5 aggregates. Our body, which is form, our feelings, our mental perception, cognition, our mental formation, our deep attachments, and our consciousness. These 5 things, we call it the self. Buddha let us know that this soul condition arising, there is not an intrinsic thing that's permanent and independent. We can call it the self. It's a pseudo-self. There's no point of being selfish in any way because we are all connected. So see through and let go of our attachment to the self and our aversion to the world or anybody we think are separate from us. We should have a peace and stable mind, understanding emptiness. And we also have the conventional truth, which is the phenomenon world. We still have existence, we have to eat, we have to sleep, we are social animals, we gotta live together, we have to see how we are all interconnected. For example, a family. When you benefit one person in the family, you are actually benefiting the entire family because one's action impact the society as a whole. Every part is a microcosm of the whole, and the whole is perfectly expressed in every part. That's the internet we're talking about. See that we're all connected, then we can live a life full of harmony and let go of what we are quibbling about the world and our family. Spread love, compassion, and kindness in this conventional world. Lastly, we have the middle way, which is balancing the emptiness and our existence. Existence and emptiness, emptiness and existence. Can we reach a perfect reconciliation of the two? Integrate the mind to the true mind. That is our true nature, which is the oneness of the universe. Everything is made from this mind, and we are really directors of this movie. You should make the best movie of this life. Make a pure land out of this corrupted world. Now let's look at how do they practice meditation and contemplation to realize the fourfold Dhammatatu and the threefold truth. Huayan has 3 meditations, Tiantai has 3 contemplations. First one is emptiness. The whole name is true emptiness beyond all characteristics. When you see dualism, you are still not seeing emptiness. So when we see things that's good or bad, tall and short, big and small, when we see things in duality, that means we're caught up in the appearances. We have a selfish self separated from others. But when you see true emptiness, you will go beyond the duality. In the 7th chapter of Vimalakirti Sutra, Vimalakirti, this wonderful layman that knows the Dharma really well, knows about non-duality. He was expounding the Dharma with all the bodhisattvas and Buddha's disciples in his room. So a goddess came and started spreading heavenly flowers onto these bodhisattvas and monks. But the flowers, they didn't stick onto all the bodhisattvas, but stuck on all the monks. All the Hinayana and the Tripitaka, all the monks, they didn't like these flowers. They think it's improper, especially Shariputra. They're trying to shake off the flowers. Why is that? Because they still have attachment. The goddess asked them, why do you want to shake off the flowers? Shariputra said, because it's improper for monks to have flowers on their body. The goddess, which is an enlightened being, she says, the flowers have no discrimination. It is only your mind that discriminates against the flowers. It's your discriminating mind that is improper. So let go of your discrimination. That is the true Dharma. We should let go of all our discriminating thoughts. Realize the empty nature of all things, even holding on to the Dharma, what is proper, what is improper. Number 2, non-obstruction of emptiness and phenomenon. There is a perfect harmony between the physical world and the emptiness of the mind. There is really no obstruction of any kind. There's no reason we cannot live the world full of compassion and kindness in this physical existence. Number 3 is universal containment. All phenomena are universally contained within each other. There's really a seamless unity in all things. The oneness of our mind, you see that the mind is really the Buddha. Now let's look at the 3 contemplations. Void meditation is meditating on emptiness. See the emptiness of the 5 aggregates. Do not be so attached to the self. Maybe you can see the world without the lens of the ego. Then you live a peaceful life that is stable in emptiness. During the meditation, contemplate on emptiness and non-self. We will reach profound insight into the depth of emptiness. Number 2 is unreal meditation. It's the same as the non-obstruction of emptiness and phenomenon. In this illusory world, we try to see the oneness of us and all sentient beings. Bring out the best in everybody you see, even just a smile, even when you're washing dishes. Be one with the water, be one with the bowl, be one with all things. That way you always live at the present moment. Lastly is the mean meditation. The mean meditation is balancing emptiness and existence, a conventional world and the ultimate truth. When you can balance the two, then you can really see the universal containment of all things, which is non-obstruction between all phenomena. You'll no longer be caught up by all the dualisms that is making you suffer. All your tragedies, all your challenges of life, all the obstacles, when we open up our heart to a bigger horizon, then there is no more obstructions. There's a lot of people that have near-death experience. When you come back alive, you really let go of all your attachment and discrimination. You will only see the good qualities of everyone in your lives. Only appreciation, love, and great compassion for all, because that is really the only way to live in this lifetime. And that is how we're going to Amitabha's Western Pure Land when our mind is pure. Hope this is insightful for you. Best wishes, Amitabha.